everyone, I'm Francesca. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is a very exciting day and a day that I have waited for so long, and we are going to be doing a recipe from my new cookbook, Plantiful. So here it is. I am so excited. I started working on this cookbook last February and I poured my heart and soul into this. I did all the food photography, I made all the recipes, I worked really hard with my publisher to just create a really good concept. It is all centered around vegan comfort food, and it is, I'm in love with it. I love how it turned out. It is so pretty. You know, we have a lot of sections in here. We covered everything from breakfast to, I have a whole, it's called bites, so all like snacks and appetizers and things like that. The bao that we're making today is from the bite section. I put a whole section in all about bowls. So I love my bowls. So I had to do a whole section all about bowls just because, and oh, they all turned out so good. We got mains, and we have all different kinds of mains in here. We have things like homemade seitan, tempeh recipes, tofu recipes, soups, just so many other things, the salads, easy skillet meals. There's a little bit of everything, but I got some Italian dishes, Asian dishes. We got a lot of good stuff in here. And then of course we have the desserts section, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. This is actually, I gotta show you, this is one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. Here it is. This picture right here is one of my absolute favorite pictures I've ever taken, and this is a really easy recipe. It's just avocado. I just worked really hard on this. I worked so hard on it, and I wanted to give everybody the best possible cookbook ever. I wanted it to be full of foods that you can eat as a vegan, as a non-vegan, that you can enjoy. If you're a beginner, if you love to cook, there's so many recipes. Like, there's easy things in here, and then there's more fun, advanced things, but I think anybody is going to be capable of making these recipes because I tried super hard to explain everything as easily as possible, and I didn't want it to be an intimidating cookbook. It is hardcover, it is beautiful, and I'm so happy. I am so happy, and I'm so excited for you all to hold it in your hands. As a little kickoff, as something fun, I figured I would share the recipe for the bao. So today we're going to be making these sweet Gochujang Tempeh Bao. And these bao are so delicious. Homemade bao are so good, and I will give you the full recipe, and it's just a little exciting thing, and I figured this would be fun because this might be one of the recipes in the cookbook that people would probably want kind of a video for. They're really good, they're really delicious, and I'm just so excited. And if you have ordered the cookbook, pre-ordered, thank you so much. If you got your cookbook already, yay, I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to see what everybody makes from this. And yeah, with all that being said, let's go into the recipe. So to start this off, I am measuring out my dry ingredients. So we're taking 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour to start, then 1.5 tablespoons of organic granulated sugar, and then half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. In the recipe, I use active dry yeast, so the process is just slightly different. I only had instant yeast in the house today, so that's what I just decided to go with. But in the book, I do use active dry yeast, so the steps are slightly different. Either way, same result. Then we're gonna add in 1/3 cup of non-dairy milk. We're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We're gonna mix this up until it starts to come together. Then you'll start to knead it with your hands, and then once it's really coming together, you're gonna knead it on your surface for about 5 to 7 minutes until we can form it into a nice smooth dough and form it into a ball. From there, we're going to add about half a teaspoon of oil into our bowl, and then we're just gonna let this proof. It's not gonna double in size or anything. It just kind of softens up and like expands a little bit, so it looks like this when it's done. Now we're going to roll our dough out to be about 1/4 inch thick, and then I'm going to use a big glass, or you can use a biscuit cutter, or whatever you have, about 3.5 inch circles. That's what we're making here, and we're just going to start to cut out our little buns, and you're just going to repeat the process with any leftover dough. So rework the scraps together, and you will get 12 bao buns from this. So just keep reworking the scraps. They may take a minute to come back together. You can roll them, and then you'll go through the process of cutting them out again. So then you'll have all of them here, and then you're just going to lightly brush them with some vegetable oil. This way, because you'll see, we're going to fold them over. So we fold these buns over, so this way they don't entirely stick together. The oil will prevent that. Then we're going to give them a slight roll. This is going to help to elongate them and just make them a little bit bigger, and it helps them to stick together as well. So we're going to do this with all of our buns. They'll look like this. We're going to let these proof for 45 minutes. Again, they won't double in size, they just get slightly puffier. While those are proofing, let's work on our tempeh. So I'm taking 1 block of tempeh, and I'm going to cut it into 15 pieces, and then I'm going to cut that in half so we get 30 pieces of tempeh total. So each bao bun will have about 2 to 3 pieces of tempeh in there. We're going to steam our tempeh. This is really important. It takes away that bitterness. So you're going to add all the tempeh into a nice pan, and then you're going to add in half a cup of water, bring that over to the stove, pop a lid on it, and steam it for about 15 minutes until all the liquid is gone. Then we are going to make our sauce. So I'm taking my gochujang paste, maple syrup, soy sauce, some garlic powder, and water, and we are just going to mix this together to make our delicious sauce. Again, I'm giving you the full recipe, and the full recipe is in the book, so don't worry too much about the measurements. I'll have them written out for you. And then once our tempeh is steamed, all the water's been evaporated, you're gonna add in a little bit of oil, and you're going to just cook that for another 5 to 7 minutes until it gets really golden and really crispy, and that's exactly what we're going for. Then we're gonna add that sauce on there, just let it coat it and thicken up, and this tempeh is so good. I love this tempeh. I'm not even that big of a tempeh fan, but this I love. I can eat this all the time. Our tempeh is all done, looks beautiful. You can just pop that to the side for right now. Our bao buns are done proofing, so now comes the fun part. We are going to steam them. And as you can see, they're slightly puffier, a little bit bigger, so that's exactly what we want from them. So you're gonna need a steamer basket. I just got it offline, it was like $12. You're gonna line the basket with parchment paper. This is a 2-tiered one, and you're gonna put in 4 bao buns at a time, just so that way you can ensure that nothing like sticks together in the cooking process. And then I just boiled up some water on the stove, and we're going to pop the steamer basket on top. And I'll also have a steamer basket linked down below, but they're really inexpensive and they're really awesome. So just pop it on top. Be careful, because obviously you're dealing with hot water and boiling water. You're gonna let these steam for 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna prep my veggies. So I'm just cutting up some cucumber, nice and thin, and I'm gonna julienne it. And then I'm cutting up some green onion as well, just nice little slices. And then I also have some shredded cabbage and carrots. So these vegetables are really nice. They add some brightness and color to our bao, and they just look so pretty, and you just put them in there. They add a nice little crunch. They're really good. Once our buns are all done, you'll see there's a lot of steam coming out. You're gonna steam it for the 10 minutes, leave it alone, and they'll look like that. So I'm just gonna steam the remaining 4 bao buns that we have left, and this is what they look like. They're soft, they are fluffy, and as you can see, they pop right open because that little bit of oil that we brushed in there. So let's assemble our bao. So I'm going to take my 1 bao bun, pop it open, and then I'm gonna put in some cabbage, and then we're gonna put in some cucumbers, some carrots, our tempeh, and then I like to put a little more cabbage on top, it just looks pretty, some green onion, and I'm topping it off with sesame seeds, and that's it. And you're just gonna repeat this with all your bao buns. And if you've never made bao, they are so good. They're so fluffy and delicious, and I love eating the buns just on their own. And this is it. These are our bao buns. So yummy, so good. How beautiful do they look? I just love all the colors, and it's such a bright and beautiful dish, and it's full of flavor. It gets so many different notes in there, and I just think it's really good, and I think you guys will really, really enjoy it. All right, everyone, and that was our bao from my cookbook, Plantiful. I just don't have words. I'm so excited. I am so happy, and I'm so excited to be sharing a recipe with you from it. So if you'd like to order it, there'll be a link down below. Thank you all so much for everyone's support on it. It really means a lot, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.